Okay, so now we can start redoing also the range slider component itself. First of all, we currently have the element itself with attached shadow, and then we just have an input field, and we append style and input to this shadow. But because we want to create another range slider that goes over the default one, we will need to create a few more elements. The first element we will do is bar. It's going to be our custom replacement for the range. Document, create element, div, and we will give it a class name bar. And to that bar, we will append two more elements. First one will be called a ruler, because it actually will look like a ruler, just a line with vertical lines to show where exactly we are on our slider. So let's do this, document, create element, and div, and we make ruler, class list, add ruler, and now we need to do another element. I will just copy the whole thing, but this element will be called a fill. Fill. It will be again a div, and then to the fill, double click. We will also add the class called fill. So bar, class list bar, ruler, class list ruler, fill, class list fill. And then to the bar, we append these children elements, which are ruler and fill. And then to the host, to the root of this component shadow, we append style, input, and now also this custom bar element that has internally also appended ruler and a fill. Okay, so let's go now to the CSS part. First, what we will do, we will just remove this background color so that we can see our default slider. And then what we will do, we will make this slider invisible. The only thing what we want to stay visible is this circle, this thumb, as if it is called. And then we will redo this bar, and we will add a ruler view in, so like a line with vertical lines. And then we will additionally have to make our own fill. So this blue thing, we will have to redo it ourselves. Okay, so how do we do this? First of all, we will add something that is for all the elements. So all the elements inside of the host will have box sizing border box, and the box sizing will inherit before and after. You can read more about this before and after and the box sizing border box, but just quickly, every element has some padding around and a border. And what we want that the width of the element includes padding and the border, instead of width being just an element and then on top having also the padding and the border. So you see this red line is showing the width. We want this second example, we want that everything, the whole element with padding and the border, when we say a width of that element, we want all of this to be included. Why? Because we will be stacking element on top of element, and this is just going to make our life easier, because otherwise we have to manually calculate also the paddings and borders so that we can really cover fully elements when we're stacking them. So we go with this, and that's why we're adding this line, and it's valid for all the elements inside of host. Then we go and style the host itself. So inside of the host, we will define some colors. Oopsie, I didn't copy well. We will define the colors, so white, transparent, gray, and blue. Then we will set this host element to position relative. So this will be anchor element to children elements. And if you remember, the host has two children, input and bar. So when we will position them, we will position them relative to this host element. So now we can start first with the input. We also set, of course, the host element to that width is 100%, the full width, and the height is 16 pixels. And then input is position absolute, so it will start exactly on top and in the left corner of its parent element of the host, which is also an anchor. And then the width will be also 100%. We will set the appearance to none, so we'll make it invisible. We will also set the background color to be transparent. And because input fields come with the default margin 2 pixels, we don't want that, so we will override the margin to be 0. And when we are stacking the elements, we want the input to be the most visible on top of all of them. Why do we do this? Because we want this thumb, this circle, to stay visible, but everything else will be invisible because we have appearance none and we have background color transparent. So let's save. And you can see that the only thing that is left visible is a thumb. And this one will be on top of all the elements. And now below, we will add the bar, ruler, and the fill.